Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here at IBG with the legendary Chris Lytle. And how you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I didn't know you were going to be here, so just kind of swung by tonight, and happy I did.
Yeah, so you actually had a very good MMA career with the UFC as well. You fought some big names, Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler, beat Matt Brown twice. What was your fondest memory of being in the UFC?
Man, there was a lot of good ones. UFC was awesome. I love watching UFC grow up because when I first started, it was nothing. I fought there before Dana White was even involved with SEG days, so it was not that good back then. And as it became big, it was pretty awesome. You know, I remember the first time seeing anything on ESPN, like the little bottom ticker. Said somebody UFC, they said UFC on there. Like we were not looked at as a good sport. We were like. You said you fought in the cage. People looked at you, you know, they kind of would take a couple steps away. Okay, like it was not recognized as a sport. People thought you were Neanderthals. Now it's accepted, so it's kind of cool. I was there as that transition happened. But my probably best memory probably my last fight. You know, announced my retirement beforehand. Was able to do the main event against Dan Hardy and was able to win submission of the night and fight of the night.
Yeah, you beat Dan Hardy in your last match. Was that straight arm lock? Or?
It was a guillotine.
Guillotine, that's right.
You know, people, it kind of bothered me because people were like, man, you need to take him down. He's good on his feet. You need to take him down. I'm thinking, what am I, bad on my feet? I'm like, I'm good on my feet too. I don't take anybody down. I try to knock people's heads off. And so I felt like I was beating him in a decision, and he knew it. So he tried to take me down with about a minute to go, and I submitted him. So it worked out perfect.
Awesome. Yeah. So was that would you say that was your best victory in there, or what is the victory?
It was probably just my most meaningful victory there because, you know, like I said, I've been fighting for a long time. I told him at the beginning, this is my retirement fight. You know, you never know if you're going to win or lose that fight. So it was good to go out on top. Like I won 5 out of my last 6 fights, so I was like on a hot streak. I won like most people go out losing 8, like most of their last several fights, getting knocked out a bunch, and they forced. And I decided I was going to quit, and I was doing good. And I still felt like I had plenty of good fights left in me, but I didn't want to. I had other stuff going on. I had to spend more time with the family stuff.
Yeah, I understand that. Then you also did, you were in some of the inaugural BKFC fights as well, right?
Oh, yeah. I fought bare knuckle the first time before it was even legal in the States over in London. And brought over to try to get it legal here, and they said no. And then, you know, 6 months later, Dave Feldman and them got BKFC legal. And I knew as soon as I saw him, I want to be part of this. So I told him I want to fight for him. I fought for him a few times and transitioned into the commentary role. And that's what I do now. I love to go to every fight. You know, I never, besides BKFC 1, I missed because my daughter's getting married that night, but I've never missed another one.
Awesome. So you rode with, you had a match against Lachlan Giles as well, right?
Yeah, man, that was tough as nails. I mean, it just really showed me a lot. You know, I've been rolling since 1998, and it kind of in a small bubble area, and just really showed me how the game has really evolved and changed, and how much different all the ankle locks. That's all people do is ankle locks anymore. So it made me change things and kind of move up and start really working on different aspects and stuff. Because this game moves so fast. If you're not constantly evolving with it, it's gonna pass you up. And you know, I mean, that dude. I think after that he finished like 3rd in the world again, open division all the way.
Yeah.
I know he got beat this time, but those guys, I mean. People, those brothers were just killing people, man. Just so
he got bronze at ADCC that year.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable, man. I mean, little guy, but man, he was good.
Yeah. So when you fought Nick Diaz, what did that feel like? Like, what was To
be honest with you, I felt it was one of the worst fights of my life as far as I almost quit the sport after that, you know, because here I was a UFC veteran. I fought in Pancrase a bunch. I'm fighting this new guy who, you know, I was supposed to fight Jake Shields that day. And he had some problem. He had some health problem. And they said, we got a guy, Nick Diaz. I'm like, who? Never heard of him. He's like, he's 20 years old, and he just won Grappler's Quest. He's won all these fights. Like, I don't know, 20 years old, I'm beating this kid's ass, no problem, you know. And I thought it was a hot-ass desert fight in California, and it went the distance. It was a split decision, very close fight. But when I lost to a 20-year-old kid, I'm like 25. I'm like, man. It's like, man, it was just depressing. I was like, what happened? I'm supposed to be this UFC veteran. You know, I fought in UFC once and fought in Pancrase a bunch. Like, I shouldn't be getting beat by kids like this. And I was depressed. I was like, man, what the hell? And about, you know, a year later, he's fighting in the UFC and submitting people. So then I felt better about it. Okay, he's good. You know, so then I started realizing how good he was. I was like, okay, I felt better about it. But, you know, you never know when it was an early fight for him, and it was an awesome fight though. When you go back and watch it, I mean, at the end I was getting stitches, he was getting stitches. We both did a lot of good stuff. Split decision. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So, who was your toughest fight? Would you say he was your toughest fight in the UFC?
Nah, I mean, I don't, man. I fought. There's so many different tough guys and just tough in different ways. You know, I fought Matt Hughes right after.
Yep.
You know, he was tough just in a different way. I mean, he just helped hold me down. You know, Koscheck was tough just from a wrestling standpoint of view. People to try to hold you down. You know, Thiago Alvarez fought him. He's just tough as far as I've never been kicked that many times like that guy kicked me. You know, so from a leg kick standpoint, he was tough. You know, fought Matt Serra twice, and that was tough just because I'm good buddies with him. You know, I don't like fighting my friends. Fought Joe Riggs, I'm a good friend. So just, you know, man, everybody, you know, boxing, I was a pro boxer. A lot of boxing guys were extremely tough too. So it's just hard to really pinpoint. It's tough in what way? I don't know. There's a lot of tough fights I've been in.
When you fought Matt Serra, was he already the champion? Was it after he was the champion, or was it before he?
I fought before and after.
When you fought him after, how much did you feel that his game had elevated since that first fight?
Well, you know, I don't know if I'd say elevate. He just fought different the second time. Like the first fight was a horrible fight because both of us were trying to win the Ultimate Fighter. There's a lot of money involved, the title shot, all this stuff. Neither one of us fought to win. We both fought to not lose. You know, this fight we were both fighting to win. You know what I mean? So I think I'm at my best when I fight to win. And every time I fought people, I felt like we both try to knock each other's head off or submit each other, whatever. I feel like I'm gonna be fine. I'm coming out on top. If you really want to beat me, if you're in a fight, you know, a controlled, boring, like tactician, you know, match where, you know, just an athletic contest, yeah, you can do that probably because it takes two to make an exciting knock your head off fight, and that's the kind of fights I like to put on. But if you get one guy that's trying to do that, and one guy's just trying to hold you down or out jab you or whatever, you can do that. And I always told UFC, put me in there with good people I want them to try and take me out. If you put in there when people take me out, I'm going to either take them out or I'm going to win the fight of the night, I promise. So they did that a lot. The ones they didn't, you know, I lost and they were boring fights. So I don't know. I just felt like the first time we fought, it was not my finest hour or his. But, you know, hell, another split decision loss.
Yeah, and then when you brought up the Ultimate Fighter, can you bring up that experience? What was that like being in the house like that?
Dude, I loved it, man. You know, it was the only time in my career I ever got to dedicate my whole life to fighting. You know, my whole career I fought. I had 4 kids, and I, you know, was a full-time firefighter. So on the Ultimate Fighter, you know, twice a day we go in there and train. You know, 7 days a week. There was no days off. It was awesome. Got to eat whatever I wanted. You know, I'd tell them what they needed to bring me, they bring it in, and it was awesome. So, and I got to go with some of the best guys in the world. So I absolutely loved my time there. It was a good experience.
So is it basically like how they show it on TV, where you wake up, you go train, you come back, you hang out for a little bit, then you go back and train, and it's exactly how they show it on TV, or is there some hidden stuff in there?
No, that was exactly. I mean, we'd go to the gym twice a day, and that was it. And then you'd go to the house, and we never went anywhere else, you know. So like, you wanted to go to the gym. I don't want to sit at that house anymore, especially when we were there in summertime. The pool was like 98 degrees. It was hot. I mean, there was the air conditioner broke or something. There was no relief. So I mean, it was like, and you just sit in a room with a house with, you know, no TV, no radio, no books, nothing. You just kind of, you want to go train. There's not much else to do. So, and I want to train anyway. I'm not here to. I mean, I wasn't leaving my family to go have fun. It wasn't a vacation. It was to go there and get better and try and train with some of the best guys in the world. And they were right there. We might as well train, and, you know, made some good friendships. And still, I mean, most of those guys, I was lucky. I was on the comeback. So everybody was UFC veterans. They already elevated high-level fighters. It's not like I had these guys who, you know, like the Ultimate Fighter, usually they know that what they're doing is they're bringing in, you know, 16 guys. They can only sign 4 really. So they bring in 12 guys who suck, or not suck, who aren't as good, but they're characters and are going to get drunk and jump through walls or whatever. I don't know. So and can get beat up and make the other guys look good. I understand that because they can only sign 4. You can't add 16 guys to weight class. It's impossible. There's not enough fight for them. So my season wasn't like that. I had good guys who weren't idiots. So I was forced. I couldn't handle these other guys sometimes.
What was the selection process leading up to that for you? Like, how did you get in contact with them? Or like,
now, they got a hold of me. They said that they're doing the comeback. It's all UFC veterans. They want those veterans to come in, and they just interviewed us and said, hey man, you know, ask us questions. And, you know, it was cool just showing up there because I don't know, they brought in several different people, you know, and like the group I was with, there was a lot of cool guys I knew, and some of them got selected, some of them did, but it was just fun being around those guys. You get to hang out with people not in a, like really just in a fighting atmosphere, so it was fun.
Who were the coaches that season?
It's weird. The head coaches, it was like Randy Couture and George St. Pierre, but they coached both teams. It wasn't like, because it was just like they would advise, like, hey, we're not telling you what you have to do, but we're going to give you these workouts. You can do them if you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they felt like we were veterans. You know, I had more fights than probably George St. Pierre at the time or Randy Couture. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of guys were like me, a lot of veterans who've been around for a long time. So I don't think they felt like we're going to tell these guys what to do. They just gave us the recommendations, but we followed them. And you got George St. Pierre and Randy Couture giving you advice. I took it.
Yeah, two of the best ever to do
Exactly.
it. Yeah. So who did you get more out of?
Man, they were both good in different ways. It was just, I don't know. I just learned a lot from both guys. I mean, Randy's unbelievably good at, you know, just little things. I remember collar tie would push this way and pull you that way. That's like, he's so good at little things you even realize. I remember I still got some workouts from him and George St. Pierre that I used, just like plyometrics and weightlifting stuff. I was just like, man, these guys. It was funny when we first got there. I was like doing these plyometric workouts. I'm like, what are these called? And people are like, you don't do plyometrics? I'm like, nope. And they're like, how do you even get to the UFC? We're all doing these things every day. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I got a lot of new workouts and this. You know, but, you know, you have to, I was old school. I was, you know, I'm like Rocky IV, like in Russia, carrying bricks,
Yeah.
and they got technology. You know what I mean? So just knowing what plyometrics were, like, yeah, that's what you need, explosive movements, boom, boom. So then, and weightlifting, you know, you don't need to be super strong. You need to be super explosive. You need to have good endurance. So once I learned to do that stuff, I incorporated that into my game. But it was just good stuff. You know, I learned that from both those guys.
Awesome. So what is it that brought you to IBG?
You know, I mean, IBG is the best place around at the Indianapolis by far.
I say all of Indiana, honestly. Yeah.
Well, you know, I haven't been to all the places. I want to say that, but I mean, we got, you know, Pat McPherson. You know, he was one of my coaches. Him, Keith Palmer, and so, you know, Pat just really has taken this over. You know what I mean? So. You know, I've always been around, I've always been helping out, but when Pat's kind of, you know, when I needed a coach, he stepped up, and like Keith was my coach, and then, you know, Pat became the coach, and he just really taken this and made his own, going to different seminars, going to different things, really constantly learning, and I've helped kind of bring along the next generation here, but he's just really dedicated all his time to it. You know, I have a lot of other things I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of the commentary, like I said, for the BKFC. So Pat's here day in and day out. I come in when I can and help out, but I'm pretty busy, so he's doing the work. And you know, he runs this practice well, and he knows what it takes. He's coached in UFC probably 40, 50 times, maybe. I don't know. Just he's had a ton of guys. We've had everybody who's came through here. He's coached them, coached in Bellator, so he just. You know, he knows how to get a camp ready. He knows how to push a fighter. He knows how to make them peak at the right time and mentally get them ready. So, Pat's doing great stuff here. Like, there's nobody else from the Indianapolis area. We've got like 8 UFC veterans here. I mean, nobody else has even touched that. Nobody's been successful besides from around here. So, he's got his act together, and this is a great place. I mean, I enjoy coming in here and giving any knowledge I can, helping these guys out, because just a little guidance, man. I mean, these guys are coming in doing the work, and you know, I've been doing this for 25 years or more. So I want to. It's stupid to me have all this knowledge and not utilize it and give it to other people. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. But if I have some knowledge, I'm gonna try to help give it to these guys.
Awesome, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time, sir. I appreciate it. It was an honor.
Hey, thank you.